right to the top, baby.
It's time for a beer, rum, and rock rock shot. This time, Jon Garner and I are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Whitesnake's 6th studio album, Slide It In. In 1984, 2 different versions were released. The first in the UK on January 30th, and the second in the United States and Canada on April 16th. It has since gone on to sell over 6 million copies worldwide. The UK version was produced, engineered, and mixed by Martin Birch, who had worked with Whitesnake on their previous 5 albums. But the album was remixed for the US market by the late Keith Olsen. The band on the US release consisted of Mel Galley, guitars and backing vocals, John Sykes, guitars, Neil Murray, bass guitar, David Coverdale, vocals, Cozy Powell, drums, and John Lord, keyboards and organs. However, the UK version featured Mickey Moody on guitars and Colin Hodgkinson on bass. All right, Jon Garner, welcome back, buddy.
Randall, my dear, how are we?
Good, man. Ready to talk about the snake?
Talk about the snake. Let's do this.
What are you drinking tonight, man?
I've gone upscale. First off, I don't know if you can see this. I got a little hunting fox, and I've gone with an old fashioned, so a bourbon cocktail. So if this thing goes completely off the rails towards the end, cheers.
I'm out of beer. I'm out of rum. So I'm drinking a little gin and tonic. Look at that, how fancy that is.
Oh, I think David would approve.
Yes, he would, and this could go off the rails. This could definitely go off the rails. Good thing it's a rock shot. It's quick. Anyway, cheers, man.
Cheers, pal.
Oh, that Empress gin is good. Maybe they'll send me a case if I plug them.
Big fan of my Bullet bourbon. Bullet fires you away.
There you go. Okay, buddy, let's go back to 1984 once again. It hurts me every time I say it, actually. It's so long ago. Now, I know you well, and I know you're a huge Whitesnake fan. All that considered, talk about the impact this particular album had on you when it first came out back in 1984.
When it first came out, I was like, oh, this is cool. Another one. I mean, they were, very much sort of churning them out. I really like the album. I mean, as you know, I'm a huge Snake fan. Got a little bit disillusioned when they went full glam, to get the American dollars, which I get. I mean, Coverdale's a businessman at the end of the day.
Right, because this is the point I knew that was going to come up was, I'm in North America, you're in England. This is a completely different thing geographically in terms of music. Like Whitesnake was not a thing here.
Right.
That I recall at all until this album. So you had all their albums up to this point, and you're waiting for the next one.
I don't know if you can see over my right shoulder, Come and Get It is still my favorite. I got Ready and Willing over my left shoulder. Down on the floor is Love Hunter. When we did our top 10 live albums, the Whitesnake Live in the Heart of the City, that to me was, for that period of time, them at that pinnacle. They were full on, and what a band they had going on. I mean, it was, it was a different band. David Coverdale's a big fan of turning over his roster.
That's putting it mildly.
Likes to bring in the new blood.
Okay, man, so when's the first time you actually saw this band live then? How did that go down for you?
First time seeing them live was Donington 81 when they were in support of AC/DC. When AC/DC headlined their first time, Whitesnake were second on the bill. Then they headlined again in 83 with Meatloaf was supporting, and ZZ Top. First time I'd seen ZZ Top live, so that was kind of fucking cool. And Twisted Sister, Dio, and Diamond Head. That was the 83 lineup there. But I'd seen them a bunch on the Come and Get It tour. I mean, I was just mad about them. You could see them in Leicester, you could see them in Nottingham, you could see them in Derby and Sheffield.
So did you see them play on the Slide It In tour?
I didn't see the Slide It In tour. No, I didn't. And then they played Donington again, I think, 87, with the Whitesnake Commandos, as they were called.
Cool, man. I'm jealous. Yeah, my story is not like that at all. So, like I've said a billion times, around 84 at this point, I'm full-blown rock metalhead kid, devouring everything I can get my fucking hands on, basically. But like I said earlier, they weren't on my radar at all. They had very little impact until this album, right? And this album was my gateway into the band. And that was followed by, videos. You know, I love videos, John. So the video for Slow and Easy and Love Ain't No Stranger came out. My jaw's on the floor because it's what I like. It's mostly them live, intercut with some other B-roll, but it's mostly them live. And I just thought they were cool as shit, like Coverdale with the mic stand moves and Cozy with the crossover onto the cymbals. I just thought they were awesome. They just had such power on stage and they were just fucking cool. That's it. They were just really cool. And that's important to me. You got to be cool, John.
Yeah, music comes second.
That's right. Look good doing it. Fake it till you make it. What else do I want to say? Oh, and the album cover, John. I don't have it with me, but we all know what it is. It's the chick's torso with the snake going down the cleavage. I mean, what 18-year-old isn't going to be enticed by that image? Like, come on. Come on.
Then you found Love Hunter with the chick riding the snake.
Dude, yes, back catalog followed. Oh my God. Oh my God, that cover is so awesome. That's a tough t-shirt to pull off. You wear that, man, you're going to turn some heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's face it. Coverdale and Whitesnake and AC/DC are the kings of the double entendre lyric and all that stuff, right? Like Slow and Easy, Spit It Out. I mean, come on. The name of the band is Whitesnake. What do you think that's talking about?
Right.
I'm going to name the band after my dick. Check. Anyway, I was on board, needless to say.
And quick sidebar, I'm glad you were wearing the classic logo too, because that was something I learned to draw real quick and real early when I got into the whole band art thing. And I can still do it.
Nice. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what a duotang is? Is that what they were called in England? Yeah.
Yes.
I wish I would have kept them. They were covered in band logos. Like I could do all the logos.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing in class.
We had to cover our textbooks with like brown paper just so because you handed them in at the end of the year, right? So then that was it. The minute it was all covered, the writing started.
God, Randy's really focused. He's writing all the notes down. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to perfect the Aerosmith logo. You know, that's all I'm doing. I could do all the Kiss autographs. Anyway, I'm not shitting you. It's just crazy. Anyway, like you, I love their blues meets hard rock vibe that kind of faded a bit as time went on, but it's intact still on this album. Okay, man, let's get into the music. But before we do that, what am I going to do, John? Read some fun facts like I always do. Like you just alluded to, the final Whitesnake recording utilizing this badass logo. After this, they changed the logo to that crest or whatever. It's not as cool as this, in my opinion. The UK version of the album spawned 4 singles: Guilty of Love, Give Me More Time, Standing in the Shadow, and Love Ain't No Stranger. In the US, it was just Love Ain't No Stranger and Slow and Easy, like I said, with videos. Those are the singles. I just want to elaborate more. I touched on it in the intro to the show. Elaborate a little bit more on these lineup changes. They were major. You had Mickey Moody on guitar. He'd been with the group since fucking day one. Now, he wasn't getting along with Coverdale for whatever reason. He gets the boot. John Sykes from Lizzie and Taggers of Pantang, he comes in. Serious chops, though. And he had the look to go with it. I mean, this guy is a fucking born rock star. Like, absolutely, right?
Oh, for sure.
And Mel Galley, the other guitarist, he was dismissed. He had I researched this, he had an injury, nerve damage to his arm or something. He co-wrote half this album, I might add.
Right.
But his arm was fucked up, gone. He's toast. And then this bassist, Colin Hodgkinson, was replaced by bassist Neil Murray. Is that his nickname,
Colin
the Bomber?
Bomber Hodgkinson. I mean, it was interesting that they replaced him with the original bass player, Neil Murray. And Neil Murray basically became tied at the hip with Cozy Powell, I think, from there on in. They did everything together. What a rhythm section, Cozy Powell and Neil Murray.
Totally, dude. And like I alluded to off the top as well, there's 2 different versions of this album. There's the European mix, which is determined to be flat sounding. It didn't quite have the jam Coverdale was looking for. Keith Olsen remixes it to give it more of that glam metal sound that was in vogue at that time, right? And I think it worked. I mean, you can debate which you like better, but I think it worked.
Yeah, you're wrong. What you call the UK mix, that sounds like Whitesnake. For me, there's that... okay, flat sound, if you will, but it's more bluesy. I think John Lord's keyboards come through way better. It feels a little more raw to me. That was them. I mean, again, go back into the earlier catalog. You want to hear what Whitesnake was really about? You got to hit that early stuff. And God, I sound so old, man. Yeah, I liked them back when. But it's true. I like that bluesy sound and also Coverdale's voice. Oh my God, what a range that guy had. Doesn't have it anymore, sadly, but so good.
But you hit the nail on the head. It's that timeline thing. Like you got that UK mix, I'm sure, whereas
Yeah,
I got the
yeah,
US mix. So that's the one that sounds better to my ears because it was the first one. And I think, as we both know, the reason Coverdale did all that, he got the deal with Geffen Records. He wanted that MTV 80s fucking popularity. So he gets the guy who mixed Ozzy, Scorpions, Foreigner. That's the guy he gets. And that's the sound it is. And hey, man, it worked as far as that goes. Okay, let's talk about music.
talk about it.
Let's pick our favorite 3 tracks, John. We don't have time to go through all of them, so let's pick our top 3. There's 10 of them in total. Another interesting little thing is the US track sequence is different compared to the UK one. I prefer the US one. Like, I think it should start
Yeah,
with Slide It In, not Gambler. Like, to me, that's a fucking no-brainer.
for sure.
So they got that right. Right?
I won't argue with that. All right,
Are you going to go first? Have at it.
sure. Let's do it. Okay, my number 3 is Love Ain't No Stranger is my number 3. I was trying to figure out, there was something about it. I'm like, there's a hearkening back to something in this. And I had to do a little bit of digging and playing some different songs. For me, anyway, it's an updated feel of Walking in the Shadow of the Blues from Love Hunter. It's got that slow build up. The keyboard's coming in, it's very sedate, and then bang, and really comes in. There's a little bit of underlying acoustic work at the front end of the song, and then hits hard. I really like that, and frankly, there's no point going into the detail of the lyrics with any Whitesnake song because it's all the same.
Let's dissect it.
It's all about love, broken hearts, maybe not broken hearts. I'm going to give you something, you're going to take it, whatever it is. That's my number 3, Love Ain't No Stranger.
I looked around, what did I see? Broken-hearted people staring at me, all searching cause they still believe. Oh, love ain't no stranger. I was alone and I needed love, so much I sacrificed all I was dreaming of.
Okay, my first pick. The first song I recall hearing ever due to the video. Written by Coverdale and Mickey Moody. I'm going with Slow and Easy is my first pick. Yeah. Rock Me Till I'm Burned to the Bone. Love it. This is my favorite track off the album. Full disclosure. It's got that dramatic John Lord keyboard swell off the top, which they love to do, right? And even though it's Sykes I'm hearing, let's face it, it's Mickey Moody who gave this track that bluesy feel
Yep,
that I dig.
for sure.
Sykes just copied it. That's fine. That slide intro. Da, 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 da. Dude, keep on pushing, babe, like I've never known before. What's he talking about, John?
I think they've got a stalled car at the side of the road.
That's
what
right.
the issue is.
That's all it is. The Porsche wasn't working. And then Cozy comes in with that heavy foot on that bass drum. Boom, boom. And it builds. That guitar gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And man, those Cozy Powell drum fills in between the verse. I mean, it's killer. Chorus is catchy as hell. Huge gang vocals. Again, probably helped out by Keith Olsen. Just saying. Sykes' solo is sweet. Starts with the slide vibe, and then he starts shredding. The second half of it, he's just shredding it up. It's got great dynamics. The clapping chorus. I don't mind a little clapping. That's cool.
Sets it up for a nice crowd pleaser. When
Exactly.
You've got peeps in the room.
Audience participation time. And it ends the way it started. That riff with Cozy's drum fills, right? And the keyboard fade out. It's fucking perfect. The song is perfect in my mind. In my opinion, it's a perfect fucking Whitesnake song. It's just fun. It's my favorite track on the album. It's a ton of fun. It's got everything Whitesnake does well, all fucking rolled into one. And combined with the video, dude, come on. It's killer. It's undeniable.
So take me down slow and easy. Make love to me slow and easy. I know that hard luck and trouble is coming my way. So rock me till I'm burned to the bone. Rock me till I'm burned to the bone. Rock me till I'm burned.
There you go. Slow and Easy is my first pick. I'm just going in order they're on the album, John. So yeah, that's how I'm rolling.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going 3, 2, 1 in my preference.
I think I'm going 1, 2, 3. I'm not shitting you. It is 1, 2, 3, basically. Yeah.
There you go. Number 2 for me is the title track, Slide It In. Lyrics go back to what we just talked about. Typical Coverdale. I mean, if you're wondering what he's trying to slide in, this is not the show for you.
It's baffling. I have a hard time deciphering what he's trying to say.
What I love with this song is that you get that sort of initial single guitar build in, and then the band comes in. You play that, you're going to grab me every single time. Then you hear all the other components all blast in. The bass, the second guitar, the drums, everything's coming in. It's like, whoa! Like I feel like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future, get blasted back in the seat there. Great intro. Slide it in. Number 2 for me.
The things you put me through. Tell me what I got to do to you. I'm gonna slide it in right to the top. Slide it in. I ain't never gonna stop. Slide it in right to the top. I'm gonna slide it in. Slide it in.
Yeah, it's a great fucking riff, dude. Absolutely. It's just catchy as hell. I love it too, man. It's awesome. Right to the top.
Right to the top, babe. which is odd, right? Because aren't you going to the bass?
No, the top of her, you see.
Ah.
Maybe we should analyze these lyrics.
That's called DC. Exactly what you were meaning there, David.
Can you break
My boy.
that down?
David, my boy, what were you thinking?
Okay, man, my second pick, you've already talked about, is Love Ain't No Stranger, written by Coverdale and Galley. Again, Lord starts it, tasty keyboard, we all know it. Coverdale comes in, who knows where the cold wind blows? I asked my friends, but nobody knows. Not only is this guy a great frontman, you touched on it, he's a phenomenal singer. Like, there's real emotion on this one. His delivery has got a lot of power and emotion on this one, particularly. Then that vibe continues till about 50-second mark, and then it switches on a dime and fucking rocks out. It's kind of what they do. They're great at creating songs that are catchy, they have fucking hooks for days, and melody, but they're heavy and rocking for guys like us at the same time. It's a perfect combination. Sykes, another fucking killer melodic solo. He really services the song on this one. Like, he doesn't overplay. I mean, he could just wail if he wanted to, but he really hits it on this one.
Really, until they got into the whole Vandenberg and Steve Vai, they were never over the top. They were always a servant to the rest of the song. It was never about, okay, now is my time to blow the rest of the band away. You bring it up, I think it's a really interesting piece to the band.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. You should be able to hum the solo if it's done properly, right? Totally, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's technically a power ballad, but it's got a heaviness that a lot of these power ballads, they don't fucking have.
Love ain't no stranger. I ain't no stranger. Love ain't no stranger. I ain't no stranger to
A little tidbit for you. It's one of the group's top 5 most played songs live for a reason, kids, because it's fucking awesome. And I watched the video over and over and over and over on the old Betamax. Oh, I got some fun facts. The keyboard intro was originally written for guitars, but they decided to keep it as a keyboard intro. And Cozy Powell, one of our favorite drummers of all time, told David Coverdale that Love Ain't No Stranger was the best track he'd ever played drums on. So suck on that.
Fucking liar.
Yeah, that's what he said. According to Wikipedia.
He might have told David Coverdale that. I'm pretty sure he told Ricky Blackmore something else. And Ronnie Dio.
Totally. He sensed his job was on the line, maybe.
For sure. Oh my God. I mean, easy, Cozy. Rest in peace. I mean, come on. I'll give you all of Long Live Rock and Roll, all of Rainbow Rising. I'll even go as far to say Emerson, Lake, and Powell. Like Mars, Bringer of War, stop it.
You might have a point. He's not stupid. He knows who to kiss up to. Okay, man, your third and final pick is...
My third and final is the one that you led off with, Slow and Easy. This is hands down the best song on the record by the proverbial country mile, if you will. If you're going to turn around and say, okay, write a great rock song, what are the components that you need for a great rock song? Okay, I'm going to pull out Slow and Easy from Whitesnake's Slide It In, and we'll go from there. Break those pieces down. Here is a great rock song. Slow and Easy, my number one.
So rock me till I'm burned to the bone. Rock me till I'm burned to the bone. Rock me till I'm burned to the bone.
Okay, my third and final pick, it might surprise you. I didn't go with the title track. I mean, I love it, but it didn't have quite the punch this one does, I think. I went with Guilty of Love, written by Coverdale. I love him at this pace. There's no fucking keyboard lead into this one, man. It's fucking boom. It's a belter. I love the twin guitar approach on this one. Very kind of Lizzie vibe to it. Great guitar melodies. Coverdale kicks fucking ass as always. It doesn't let up to like 2.5 minute mark. Then there's a bit of a breakdown, and then it's fucking go time to the end. There is a video for this as well. It came out later. Shot at 83's Monsters of Rock. That's my third, man. Fucking Guilty of Love.
I'm guilty of love. I'm guilty of love. I'm guilty in the first degree. Guilty of love. I'm guilty of love. I'm guilty in the first degree.
What I love with Coverdale in those earlier days is that you would hear his breathing, like his in-breaths, even his out-breaths, which later sort of disappeared because nobody wants to hear that. I think it's fucking cool. I think it's really fucking cool. It adds an element of depth to the singing for me.
That's so fucking nerdy and awesome that you brought that up, because I've thought that many times. I'm like, he's the only singer I can think of
Yeah.
who leaves that shit in. You could hear him breathing on the mic. Like, sometimes it's hilarious. Oh, baby. And he's just breathing away. I'm like, you could get rid of a couple of them, maybe. That's hilarious that you mentioned that. That's awesome. I got a couple fun facts on this track. It's one of the singles from the album. The B-side features The Gambler, that track. These are the only two tracks produced by Eddie Kramer, like early on in this process. Eddie Kramer, who's produced fucking Zeppelin to Kiss to Hendrix. He's the real deal. He started producing the album, and they decided, yeah, Eddie's not giving us what we want, so they gassed him for Martin Birch. Okay, man, give me an honorable mention. If you had to pick one more.
I got two. My first one, just because it's hilarious, is Spit It Out. It is just, I mean, if a high school guy was going to fucking write a song, they'd written this. I mean, it's Beavis and Butthead, and it turned into Coverdale and Galley, is what
As
it
I'm
is.
about to spit out my gin, ironically. Here's the lyrics to Spit It Out. I never knew what a kiss could mean until the first time I kissed you. You took my love in the palm of your hand and showed me what a woman could do. Now I don't want sugarcoating loving, just silver-tongued tenderness. You gotta give me a certain satisfaction. The kind of love you seal with a kiss. Spit it out if you don't like it.
spit it out.
It's hilarious. He's all nice and then spit it out.
Exactly. Like,
Oh
fuck.
my God.
You dirty whore.
If you don't see the comedy in that, there's something wrong with you. You're not wired right. I'll take your woke bullshit and raise you, David Coverdale.
I never knew what a kiss could mean until the first time I kissed you. You took my love in the palm of your hand and showed me what a woman could do. Now I don't want sugar-coated loving, just silver tongue tenderness. You gotta give me a certain satisfaction, the kind of love you see with a kiss. Spit it out, spit it out, spit it out. If you don't like it.
The other one, which I almost put into my top three, is All or Nothing. You were talking about, Guilty of Love and, It Drives and that. This, for me, is as close to a metal song as Whitesnake have ever gotten. At least the front part. Just go out on a limb with me in here. If you listen to this again and you go, okay, like a little more distortion, crank it up a hair, that could be a Motorhead riff. Like it really could. It's right there. All or Nothing, I think, is a really cool fucking song.
Here's how cool I think that pick is, John. It's my honorable mention.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I mean-
Now you know you're getting onto something. You picked what I picked.
This is as close to who he's ever been on an album.
Unbelievable. So my opening note here is big, heavy fucking riff off the top. It kicks ass. It does. You're right. It's super heavy. It's fucking awesome. And not fast, but heavy as hell. This one's a bit different in that the song title, it's in the verse, not the chorus.
Yes.
If you heard the song without knowing the title, you'd think it was called Too Late or something.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Heavy verse, poppier chorus. They do that a lot, and it works every fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, why change it? It's fucking working, right? Man, John Lord shines on this one, dude. That organ solo.
So good.
Oh my God, it
yeah.
rips. It's a great fucking track. I had a hard time not somehow shoehorning it into the top three, but there's only three.
I probably should have replaced the title track with this one, but it's a great fucking riff. So
Yeah, I like the title track. It felt a little light somehow. Slide it in right to the top. It's got a little poppy
Oh,
thing.
give me a break. You were fucking humming that when you were 16.
I hum it now. If I had to pick one more song, it would be number 5. Let's say that.
Is that on your way to see Andrea? that what you're humming?
I can't let her listen to that because she's like, "Oh, you never hit the top." Hi-oh, hi-oh. In my mind, I do.
It's been a minute. She's like, yes, baby, yes.
It's been over a minute. Let's wrap this up.
All or nothing. That's what I want from you. I'm gonna give you everything I got. Now what are you gonna do? Don't try running away. You know you get nothing that way. 'Cause it's too late. I wanna prove it to you. Too late. Do what you want me to do. Too late. You can't run anymore. 'Cause it's too late for you now.
Well, buddy, I think we covered Slide It In. Any final thoughts on Slide It In as an album by Whitesnake? What do you think?
It was a nice trip down memory lane again. And I say it, I think every time we do a rock shot, I really enjoy this sort of digging back into this stuff. It's clearly the end of what was an era for Whitesnake. It's a solid album. It's not on the Mount Rushmore of Whitesnake albums for me.
It's not on the Mount Rushmore. Interesting. For me, thoughts that popped into my head was how John Lord, Mel Galley, and Cozy Powell are no longer with us, which is a fucking crazy bummer. All three of those dudes are gonzo. And unlike you, again, I just think it's where you come in and your exposure to that band early on, it affects everything. It really does, because it's so ingrained, right? Part of me thinks, well, who cares? We're fucking middle-aged dudes. What difference does it make where you came in? You've heard it all. Just pick what you like.
Right.
But I think it really matters because this is my favorite Whitesnake album. It's number one for me. I like it that much. And like you said earlier, it's the bridge.
Are we done here? I think we're done. Are we done?
Is this thing on? Well, look at the time.
Well, it's been a slice being on Beer, Rum, and Rock and Roll. You won't be seeing me again.
Because like you alluded to, it's the bridge between that blues rock stuff that we love and the full-on hair metal shit to follow. It's kind of like the in-betweener, right? And I'll say this, not to go down a fucking rabbit hole tangent, I think the 87 album is overrated. I like about half of it. It's overproduced. I only like about 4 or 5 songs. That's it. It's overproduced and it's too slick. I think this is stronger. I think everything before it is stronger, actually.
For me, if it doesn't have this logo on it, it's not great.
Yeah, I fucking love this album, man. Do yourself a favor, if you guys haven't cranked this fucking album up, if all you know about Whitesnake is the 87 album, check it out.
Yeah.
Crank this fucking thing. It's wicked.
Don't dip your toes into the Whitesnake early pool. Dive headfirst, cannonball, do whatever you need to do. Soak it all. It's the best. If you like blues-based rock and roll.
But there's that generation that has to have that overproduced fucking crazy sound.
Well,
right?
but I think to your point, Randy, it's where you came in at it, right?
Yeah, right. And a lot of people came in at 87. Let's face it. They did.
Yeah, for sure they did.
Let me put it to you this way. Name every song off the 87 album. Go.
No, I can't.
Exactly. I couldn't do it either. Because half of it is forgettable. That's all I'm saying. Have I made my point?
I think you're clear.
Am I crystal clear?
David is never going to have his picture taken with you again.
I'm never going to get him on the show now.
Never.
Okay, John, that's a wrap, buddy.
All right,
Thanks
buddy.
once again. That was fucking awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you taking the time. As always, let us know what you think of Whitesnake. Slide it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and memories of this album. You can find us on all the socials, wherever podcasts are broadcast. Please, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, on behalf of John and I, keep rocking loud, motherfuckers. Peace out.
Elvis has left the building.